What is going on, guys? It's Big Girl Ronin here, and today I am bringing you a new video idea for me. I'm going to be going through my Walking Dead collection. Don't know, I'm a big fan of both the show and the comic book, and over the years I've acquired a lot of stuff. So we'll be going through the items, and I'll be showing the price in the corner, and at the end we can see the grand total of all my years of work and searching through eBay for stuff. A little quick note, where are Big Road Tracks of the Weeks and the other series I was talking about, those are still coming eventually. I haven't forgot about them. So in the meantime, I hope you enjoy this. It should be a couple different parts because I do have a lot of stuff, but hopefully you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments and let's get into it. Okay, starting off with the first item, we have this plush comic Rick from the Peekaboo Toys Series 1 collection. I believe along with this Rick, there was a Michonne to a couple zombies and some tombstones. I remember seeing one of those tombstones in a claw machine at Dave & Buster's once, but I didn't expect this thing to be this big when I first got it. I'll show it to you, or compare it to the TV show version, the Funkos plush toys. See, they're a lot bigger. I didn't expect it to be this big. So, and the prices I'll be showing in the corner, I'm going to be going off the last sold price on eBay just to be the most consistent with all the prices. For most of these items I got them at retail, so hopefully through going through the prices I'll see I made some profit. I don't know, let's keep going. Alright, so going into the Funko, we have Funko Rick and Funko Daryl. Let's see if we can look up here, see the other ones they had. They had the Bicycle Walker and the Well Walker. I got both Daryl, who's in his little poncho, and Rick. So I got these two guys. And then the last plush I have, I actually have another one, but it's a little bit different. The last plush I have that's kind of free out of a box is this Daryl Mopies. And I believe there were others in this series. You can see right here. Tyrese, Glenn, Michonne, Herschel. All I have is this little Daryl. And I think Walgreens has a collection of smaller ones that come in like a collector case, and I have been looking at those. I might eventually get the Negan one of those Walgreens Mopey guys. Actually, now that I think about it, it might not be a Mopey. It might be a Itty Bitty or something, but Mopey's is also by Funko. A lot of these collectibles are made by Funko, so let's move on. Alright, here we have a couple of banks based on the comic book. First we have Negan, who looks a little bit different than Jeffrey Dean Morgan in the show, but he's pretty cool. He's got the little coin slots. So there's Negan, good detail. And then I have a black and white, one of Michonne's pets. If you haven't seen the show, she used two zombies to help guard her from other zombies because they worked as zombie repellent. So I have one of these black and white Michonne zombie banks. Okay, moving on, we have an exclusive mystery mini that was released with the Season 5 DVD from Walmart, I believe. So here's Daryl holding a little zombie head. Next up, we have this pen that has a little light at the top. It's got the Season 5 TWD logo that they had. Next up, we have the Series 7 Grave Digger Daryl Dixon. So you can see exclusive right here. He comes with a little bandana, which is different than the normal Daryl, which was, I think, in the series before, the Series 6. Next up, we have the Season 1 Limited Edition. Came with 3 discs. I think, look at this cool cover art here. We got the comic characters on the left and the TV characters on the right, kind of a mirror. Pretty cool cover art in the Season 1 DVD. Next up we have Andrea from Season 3. This, I believe in the Series 3 of the McFarlane action figures, when they switched to this more thin style. I'll show you a couple examples of the earlier boxes, but these are more thin and easy to control. You'll see some more of these characters later. Next up we have the comic Skybound exclusive Jesus figures. They're the orange see-through edition, so you can see Jesus was a lot different in the comic as opposed to the TV show version. Next up we have another mystery minis. All these mystery mini series were released by Funko. You can see the art style is similar to the Funko Pop figures with the eye type cartoonish style. Here I got Sasha, who was a 1 out of 12 chance if it focuses. It was not going to focus, but there's Sasha. Next up, we have a couple of mystery minis from the In Memoriam series, which I thought was pretty cool. I think Game of Thrones had a mystery mini series like this too, where they just do a bunch of the characters who died throughout the series. And I got Denise and little Sam. If you remember him, he was one of the kids of the girl that Rick was into at Alexandria when they first got there. So you can see them. Poor Denise got the arrow through her head. Spoiler alert, she got Abraham's death in the comic. Next up, we have from the Series 3 Mystery Minis this Hot Topic exclusive, Daryl with a bandana. Hot Topic actually has a lot of exclusives that are unique to them, especially with the Funko. I think it's only Funko. They have a lot of collabs with Funko where they get an exclusive. So here's Daryl with a bandana from the Season 3. It was like 1 out of 36 chance. It's not going to focus on these. It's kind of lame, but that's okay. Next up, we have this little bike mystery minifigure that fit with the Daryl from that series, where you could like ride him. So that was pretty cool. We had one of the only vehicles ever released by the mystery minifigures. So that's neat. Little bike. All right, moving on. We have more Funko. We have this Daryl Dixon little keychain. He's in his biker jacket. Pretty cool. Next up, we have the Walking Dead card game, which, to be honest, I only bought and never played, but I'm sure it's a fun game. So if you've played this, let me know in the comments if I should actually play it. Next up, we have Rick Grimes. This is the Season 2 McFarlane toy type case. See, it's a lot more wide and boxy, kind of harder to store than the Season 3 upwards ones. But it's also pretty cool. So you can see Rick Grimes. He's got the dirty shirt and some other appendages. Next up, we have Shane from the same series, Series 2 of the McFarlane toys. I believe he has some sort of movement where if you squeeze his legs together, his arms raise. He doesn't really look too much like John Bernthal, but that's alright. Next up, we have this Lucille keychain, which I got at Comic-Con the one year I went. You got a random chance to get either the black and white one, the glow-in-the-dark one, I believe a gold one. I think the gold one's the most valuable one, but I got the black and white one, as you can see here. Next up, we have another mystery mini from Series 3. We have Herschel here, missing his leg and his crutches. The most rare figure from the series was also Herschel, but with his head chopped off, as you can kind of see here. But this is just the normal Herschel, so not as exciting as the more expensive one. Next up, we have the Cryptozoic Season 2 trading cards. I believe this is the full base set of Season 2, so just like it takes you through an episode, or each episode like scenes. Each card is a different scene throughout the season, so these are pretty cool cards. Next up, we have the most recent McFarlane action figures. These were called the Color Tops, and this is the Daryl version. These are a lot taller and more detailed than the earlier McFarlane toys. These ones are pretty cool. You can see the back, number 6 of the series. Next up, we have the Rick Grimes action figure from the first series, but I got the exclusive re-release from Series 7. It's basically the exact same figure minus the grenade that came with the original. So you can have like a distinction between the more rare version and this one. But I wanted to have the Series 1 because I never got to get the actual release of it. So here's Rick Grimes Series 1, but re-released in Series 7. Next up, we have the Riot Gear zombie, the one with the gas mask, as you can see right here. He is from Series 3. I told you, I got the most action figures from the Series 3 set, so be prepared to see most of those ones. Next up, we have Woodbury Assault Rick Grimes. There's a lot of Rick Grimes. Obviously, he's the main character, so they released a lot of different McFarlane versions of him. This one comes with the phone you talk to Lori on, and some other, like the classic Python, other weapons. Next up, we have the McFarlane Buildable for the Governor's Room. I actually have a completed version of this one. I'll find it. This actually might be my box for the completed version of it. I'll show you that right afterwards. I just don't have it at the moment. But so yeah, it's pretty cool. Alright, next up we have this Negan bobblehead guy. And here he is, the actual bobblehead in the styrofoam. My two favorite characters are Negan and Daryl, so you'll find that most of the items I have correspond to them in some way, so that's fun. Next up, we have the mystery mini from the Series 2, the Charred Walker. Pretty cool. Next up, we have the Soap Ear Necklace, which was a exclusive in Loot Crate. It's meant to resemble Daryl's ear necklace from season 2. Next up, we have the RV zombie figure, which is one of the most iconic walkers, I'd say, throughout the series. So they made a lot of different merchandise featuring him. Next up, we have this exclusive Gentle Giant Prisoner Walker little army man figure. It was an exclusive for Comic-Con, so that's pretty cool. Next up, we have this Fight the Dead, Fear the Living wallet, which I actually used. So this is a useful purchase that I... Next up, we have this tin, which held some exclusive little chibi figures, which is what they were called. So we have Glenn, Maggie, Merle. It's kind of hard to see because they're black and white variants, but there's Daryl and a bunch of different walkers. There's a weird art style for the chibis. I have a couple more that you'll see throughout the collection, but this is the exclusive tin version. Next up, we have the Well Walker, another iconic walker that was in season 2 and a lot of merchandise was made of. His figure is actually really cool. It splits in half like he did in the show, so here's the Well Walker. Next up, we have these Walking Dead playing cards. It was a Daryl and Merle variation, so we can see on the Jack we have Daryl and the Queen, we have Merle, and the King is the Well Walker. Came with this little tin, which is pretty cool, so playing cards are always nice. Next up, we have a Morgan figure in his season 5 getup, where he has the bow staff and like his little backpack as he was searching for Rick and the crew. So you can see the other ones that were in series 8. Next up, we have this Mountain Dew bottle, one of the weirder parts of my collection, but I guess it was a Walking Dead variant for the Walking Dead Encounter app. So I don't know if I'll be able to find a price on this, but if I do, that would be interesting. So it's like a Walking Dead limited edition Mountain Dew. And then last but not least for this episode, we have this Negan and Glenn 2-pack I got at the Comic-Con when I went. You can see like the comic art on the back, and it came with an exclusive head variant for Glenn where it's his eyeball popping out. It's kind of brutal, but cool little 2-pack I got at Comic-Con. Leave in the comments if you enjoyed this first part, and there are plenty of parts to come because there's still a lot of collection to go through. So let's see what the total is for this episode, and let's move on to the next video, hopefully coming out tomorrow. See you guys. Tell me you could say that shit. All she wants is payback for the way I always play that shit.